Okay, well, just let me know. Like, am I good to start or do you want me to wait? Okay. Hmm, Okay. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and reintroduce myself. Oh, this is a different angle than I thought. My name is Kelsey Easter, and I'm a yoga teacher. And today we'll be doing some chair yoga. So, importantly, we have to have a chair for that. And so, we want one that's sturdy, not something that's super cushy where you're tempted to sink in and sink far down. I've added a blanket to mine to help make sure that my hips are over my knees. So we don't want our knees really pulled in close to our chest if we can avoid it. And also a chair that is tall enough so that our feet can be nice and firm on the ground. So I'll show it from this side so you can see that your ankles and knees and hips are a little higher than the knees. And there's my kitty cat who will probably pop in every once in a while. And then, if possible, working yourself away from the back of the chair, again, to avoid any tendency to kind of slump backwards. So, part of how we'll be building stamina and uh, strength is through this consistent holding of strong, well supported posture. And so we'll go ahead and set that up a little bit more so that you can feel like you're very stable here on earth. Mhm. So, again, your feet are flat on the floor and in good contact with the ground below you. And your ankles are parallel to one another and your feet are parallel to one another. My socks are kind of blending into the ground here, but I think you can still see them. And then shins are parallel to one another, knees are parallel to one another, so they're not knocking in or spreading out wide. We're trying hard to keep them in line with your hips. And you can press down through the feet and through all four corners of your feet and start to engage the muscles in your legs. So, squeezing the muscles towards your bones and squeezing the glutes and the muscles in your bum to start supporting at the pelvis. So, you'll kind of lift away from the chair from pressing down through your feet. And we want our torso to be directly over our hips as well, as much as possible. So you can kind of lean backwards and forwards and figure out what feels like center to you. Where does it feel like your shoulders are over your hips as opposed to really leaning forward? And then head straight on top, right? So head in the center of you as well. So we're making the shape that is as symmetrical as possible. And if it's not possible, if you have a little bit of an irregularity, that's okay. Just strive for at least one, the side that can be, to be in this alignment, and then work towards that over time. Okay, so now that are starting to develop more of this structured of a seated self, uh, notice what's happening in your belly and in your abdomen, and feel a gentle squeezing of these corseting like muscles. So it's not a sucking in of the belly, but just a gentle toning of feeling like you're kind of giving your internal organs a little hug with your uh, the muscles in your hands. The difference between a really relaxed belly, which is nice to have a relaxed belly sometimes, versus this gentle hugging in all the way around. So it's not not a sucking in, but a hugging in all the way around the abdomen to support the spine. Hmm. And we'll add on the uh, action at the throat. So we tend to have this really neck forward, head forward posture, and these muscles on the front of the throat get left out. So we want to activate them by pulling the chin towards the center of the throat. You might get an extra double chin, and that's fine. We're just doing yoga together. And reaching an elongation, a tallerness from the crown of your head. Okay, so feel your feet and feel your well supported posture. And if you want to keep your eyes open, do that, or you can gently soften at the eyelids and take a few rounds of breath here, maybe 5 breaths, and notice what your breaths are like today. Hmm. See if you can locate where is your breath moving in your body, and is there one place that it goes to the most? Hmm. Over class, we'll mobilize and it still strengthen through this stamina of holding strong and sturdy posture, but we'll also work on developing our breath. So we'll begin that process now. So noticing how you're breathing, if it's in through the nose or in through the mouth, out through the nose or out through the mouth, both are fine. And then as you inhale next, pull the breath lower and just see what that's like. Without much instruction, what does it mean to you to pull your breath down lower? Noticing any movement in the lower belly, and you can even place the a hand on the belly and breathe with your hand on your abdomen. So again, a relaxed belly is nice sometimes, and but for today, we'll work on strengthening here in the abdomen, even though we're breathing into this area of us. So strong and steady from the feet, pressing all the way up through the head and pulling the breath down. Seeing if we can remove some of the big shoulder shrug that sometimes happens with our breathing and find it here lower in the abdomen. Check in with, since we've been here for a few minutes now, what has happened to your posture, and can you figure that out in order to find your strong posture once more? And again, press down through the feet and squeeze all the muscles in your legs and in your glutes, and then subtly relax to more of an effortless effort, and then have the hugging in at the abdomen and the shoulders nicely over the hips and the chin towards the throat. Hmm. And then turn your attention to your neck once more, and we'll begin our creating space at the joints here at the neck. So to start, we'll start really small, making the action really small, and then we'll increase the action over time. So we're listening for any popping, crunching, or churning that's happening at the neck, and we want to avoid that by making the action smaller if we notice that's happening. Okay, so Start by just nodding your head yes. So the chin comes towards the throat more, and then the chin and the eyes go towards the sky. So again, this isn't a big yes just yet. It's a little yes. You're not quite sold. But each round, once you realize that there's not much sound or much popping or any pain, then you can go a little bit bigger. If you notice that there's pain or crunching, then you'll just go back to where there wasn't any, if possible. From here, make this one a good one. And then we'll rest with the chin towards the throat. So, however far you could hold without any pain, stay there. And find your breath again once more, down low. Then we'll nod again, face towards the ceiling, feeling the front of the throat opening. And we'll hold here just for a moment, taking a big breath here. And then return back to neutral, so that position where the chin is towards the throat and your face is parallel to your side wall, okay? Then we'll go to turn our head no. So same thing, start small. Looking with your eyes as you turn your head. Listening for any noise or any pain. And still pressing down through the feet and still activating gently through the legs to support yourself. And at the abdomen to support your spine. So these gentle movements, although small, really have a big impact on how well you're able to maintain your strength and your mobility at your joints. So doing these actions every day can really help the longevity of your joint health. Okay, the next time you look over your left shoulder, we'll pause there and relax your shoulders so they're not hiked up in order to do this. See if you can draw them down again. Feeling a little stretch across the right side of the neck. And maybe you even let the right hand drop down to increase that. Stay here if this feels good, or you can gently pull your chin towards the collarbone, so down towards the left shoulder, and it'll make it even more action here at the neck. You're trying to create a smoothness to your breath that's pulling down low. Just as intentional as we entered this, we're going to come out slowly too. So lift your head back to the turned position and then come through the center slowly. Okay, turn your head towards the right this time, stopping before it becomes painful, looking over the right, finding these full, low breaths. And you can let the hand drop down to the side in an effort to relax the left shoulder more. And then lower the chin towards the collarbone again if you want. Slowly lift your head and turn it towards the center. Okay, good job. We've been holding this position for a long time, so let's give ourselves a little shake out. And whatever got really built up, you just give it a shake and then let yourself relax for a moment, and then we'll do it again, the position, but we'll move on to mobilizing something else. Okay, so take a relaxed shape and then start at the feet again. Press down through the feet and strengthen and activate through the legs. Activate here at the low belly, finding this wrapping of the whole belly towards the spine and the shoulders over the hips and the chin towards the throat in the front. So this even is hard, just holding this position. So notice if we can still keep our breath nice and smooth and down low. And we'll turn our attention now to our shoulder joints. A lot of times we have this tendency to really hike up and hike forward. So we're going to mobilize a little bit there at the shoulder. We'll start by pulling the shoulders up big towards the ears as much as you can. And then pull the shoulders down as much as you can. And then pull them up. And again, this could be little small moves. Pull them up and then pull them down. And then keep going in this way, just the same as we did with the neck. You can increase over time, but focus on the pulling down action of the shoulder. Okay, next time maybe add a little bit of backward roll. So the shoulder rolls forward as it goes up, and then it rolls backwards as it goes down. And you're feeling maybe you're just feeling more sensation at the shoulder and in the back. Rolling forward, up, backwards, down. Your arms can just kind of do whatever they're going to do in response. Let them move if they're going to move. But holding steady through the torso. Forward and then up, and then this time go forward and down. So switching the direction, and then back, and then up, and then forward and then down. So it takes about 90 seconds to increase our range of motion at a joint. And that's kind of a long time. If you've noticed, we haven't even been doing these for 90 seconds, but it kind of gets to you that we're doing it for a long time. So just know that you're taking good care of yourself and it's all worth it. Okay, the next time that you roll down and gently back, find the more neutral shoulder position, so nothing exaggerated. And we'll move in the other way. So we just went up and down big with a little bit of a round. This time we'll go forward big. So you're creating big space from the shoulder head and the back, going them forward, and then we'll pull them back a lot so that this part in the chest gets broader and the shoulder blades behind you come closer together. Pull them forward, create space in the back, and then pull them back, create space at the chest. And keep going in this way, forward and back. And again, see, your hands can slide, and that can even feel kind of nice on your legs. Trying to increase the availability you have here at the shoulder so that you can be in a neutral position more comfortably. Okay, now come back to neutral, back to shoulders on tops of hips, nice in the center, and maybe you think, oh, okay, maybe neutral is a little bit different this time now that we've created some space. You can shake it out again if you're getting tired from holding so steady and so strong. And then find yourself strong again, pressing through feet and legs and at the torso and at the shoulder and at the neck. And we'll add on in the limbs. So we just mobilized at the shoulder without a big lever. Now we'll add a little bit of a lever with the arms. So you could bend at the elbow, and that would make it easier, or you could keep the arm long with a soft elbow. And then go ahead and let the right arm rest and take the left arm up towards the sky. It doesn't have to be great big. You can also keep the elbow bent and go up towards the sky with the elbow. And then circle out to the side and let the hand or elbow come down. And then just do that a few rounds. Inhale to reach up and exhale to swim out to the side. And inhale to reach up. Feel the space at the underarm and exhale to reach out to the side and then down. Again, it could just be the elbow. Inhale to reach up and exhale to reach down. Next time you reach down, let the left arm rest, and we'll do the same on the right arm. Inhale to reach up to whatever height you have here. Feel the stretch through the underarm, and then exhale to swing around and down. Inhale to reach up, and then exhale to swim around and down. One more time, inhale to reach up with that arm and exhale to swim down and around. This time we'll let the palms face up towards the sky and take a few, maybe 5 breaths here. Breathing in now to this space that we just mobilized. So see if you can find your breath in the shoulders. Breathing in deep now, big breath and fill. And push out all of your breath as you exhale. Okay, one more really big breath. And exhale to push it out. And then return back to your more easy breath. Okay. We're going to hold steady through the torso. That could mobilize too, but we're not going to do that today. Just hold steady here, and then we're going to turn our attention now to our hips. And you can even do what I just did now, where I took my hands and just kind of squeezed around my hips and my thighs. Yeah, let's do that. Squeeze around with your hands, just gently. Notice if anything's kind of tight or tender. They've been working really hard to stabilize you as you're pressing down through the feet. So we'll give them some attention with our hands. And this is another easy thing that you can do throughout the day. Strengthens the hands as well as relaxes the leg and at the hip. Okay, let that effort settle. Take a couple of little gentle rolls through your wrists. And then let the hands soften again. Press down through the feet. Activate through the leg. Hold sturdy through the core and at the neck. And press down a lot through the left leg this time. Press down a lot through the left leg. and feel some toning at the low belly. So a pulling in at the low belly, not a sucking in, but that wrapping action. And we'll take our hands and pull the right foot up and the right knee into the chest. So the left leg stays really steady, stabilizes us. Then we'll set the right foot down. And then we'll just switch sides. Press down through the right foot. Keep the left leg active so it'll get lighter because it's active. And then draw the knee in towards the chest. And then set it down. And then we'll do that a couple of rounds. Inhale to lift. Exhale to set down. Inhale to lift. And exhale to set down. If you need to go slower, it could be an inhale and exhale to lift. Then an inhale and exhale to set down. So we're using our arms, our strong arms, to lift the leg. The opposite leg is holding steady and it's pressing. And you're still squeezing the muscles of the leg that you're lifting so it gets a little lighter. The next time you set down your foot, set it down and take a moment to let your hands and wrists rest. And take 3 or 4 deep breaths here. Sending your breath down low again. We'll stabilize, really stabilize through the left leg. Press down through the foot. Activate at the thigh and at the glute. And then lift the right leg and hug it in towards the chest. Keep your shoulders back as much as you can and your head lifted. And then roll through the right ankle. So it could be just small little rolls through the ankle. And then roll the other direction. So we're building stamina here by pressing through the left leg and holding with the arms. Just a little bit more. And then set the right leg down. Take a big resting breath. And then we'll stabilize through the right leg and prepare ourselves to do it on the left. If you need to squeeze the fingertips, you can. Press down through the right foot. Feel deeply at the left hip flexor. It's what's going to bring the knee into the chest with the hands and pull the left leg into the chest. And again, roll the shoulders back and lift through the head. Squeeze down with the right leg and roll the left ankle. Could be little, just drawing circles with the toe. And then go in the other direction. So you feel your arms working here as the elbows are towards your ribs. And we'll set down the left foot again. Take a nice little resting breath. Good job. Okay, we'll keep the feet on the ground in this general shape that we've created with the leg, but holding steady through our torso again. Press down through the feet. Feel the wrapping at the core to protect your spine. Moving away from the back of the chair if you're leaning against it, if you can. And then we'll work on a little bit more of the ankle mobility. So keep the toes on the ground and the ball of the foot. So the ball of the foot's the part of the foot that the toes connect to. Keep all of that on the ground and lift the heels. See where you can lift the heels to, and then set the heels back down. And then we'll keep going. And you can do this with your breath, inhaling to lift the heels and exhaling to set down. So it's just a little action, and the knees lift because the heels are lifting. Next time you lift through the heels, hold that and press down through the toes. like you're tippy-toeing somewhere. And then set the heels back down, maybe shake it out a little bit. Okay, we'll do the reverse of that. This one is a little bit more challenging. So if your feet don't really lift off of the ground that much, that's okay. Keep the heels on the ground this time. And draw your toes towards your face and let that ball of the foot, if it does, come up towards the face and lift off from the floor. My socks are like camouflage here. So we're lifting the toes, and I'm doing it with my wrist. You could do it with your wrist too. I was just demonstrating what's happening at the feet and at the ankles. Next time you lift the foot, heel is still on the ground. Hold that lift. Feel these muscles in the shin working to lift the top of the foot and the toes. And then set the toes down. If you're wearing shoes, this might be a little bit harder. But we're going to focus on the toes now. So I'm going to demonstrate with my fingers too what's happening at the toes. You could do this with your own fingers if you want to do two things at once. But we're going to keep the foot on the ground and scrunch with the toes and then broaden with the toes, making your toes spread as wide as they can. And then scrunch with the toes again. And then broaden through the toes and scrunch with the toes. And keep going. Scrunch, 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 making almost like fists with your toes as you curl them in. Then broaden as much as you can with the toes. Next time you curl the toes in, keep them curled, hold the curl. See if you can find these tight little fists with the toes, as long as it's not painful. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then come back to the broadness of the toes. Maybe you can even look at your own toes and spread the toes out really wide and feel them spread. Or notice if one toe doesn't really want to spread. And then relax that effort. Take a few rounds of breath, holding your strong seated position. And then if you need to relax and wiggle, you can. Again, ground through the four corners of the feet, squeeze the muscles in the legs, hold steady through the torso and the shoulders, over the hips and the neck towards the throat. I know I'm saying it a lot, but we need to be reminded over and over again. Me too, I need to be reminded constantly that this is a nice, strong, supportive position for my spine. Okay, we'll do at least one more thing here, which is hinging at the hip. So moving forward and backwards, but we'll do it together. So you can take your hands to your torso or let them rest on the thighs. And see, you can feel with the hands on the torso if you're curling and rounding because you're feeling movement of your skin underneath your hand. So we don't want that. We want our upper body to stay as it is, and we're only going to move at the hip. At least that's the hope. So we'll press through the feet and then lean forward, reaching the crown of our head away from our tailbone, creating this angle, leaning. And then we'll use the muscles in our back body to pull ourselves back up over the hips. Okay, lower yourself down. Notice if you start to round, and then pull yourself back up. Again, this can be small. Next time you lean forward, hold this for a second, keep squeezing at the legs. And you can lift yourself back up as we've been doing, or if you need the help, you can use your hands to push your shoulders back over your hips again. And then we'll find a position for a few rounds of guided breath. So again, holding as steady as you can here to support your body with action. And we've been at this for a while now, so it's totally normal that you might be fatigued. But doing your best to hold on to this steady structure so that you can remain safe in your body position. Then find a position that's maybe 20% less effort. So less of a gripping and more of a subtle action. Again, notice how you're breathing and where your breath is. And the next time you inhale, count the length of your inhale. See how long your inhale is. And as you exhale, count the length of your exhale and see how long your exhale is. Notice if the inhale is longer or the exhale is longer. We're going to work towards making them the same length. So if your inhale is 2 seconds, try to make your exhale be 2 seconds as well. Notice what's happened in your body. Can you find your nice posture, supported posture? And then again, breathe so that the inhale and the exhale are the same length, an even breath. Once you have an even breath, you can add on to both the inhale and the exhale, making the breath deeper. So maybe you add on 2 or 1 more seconds to your breath, both to the inhale, adding length to the inhale, and adding the same amount of time to the exhale. Keep that going, and then we'll work on the position of the breath in the torso. So still an even breath that's a little longer. And then we'll inhale and pull our inhale down like we've been working on. And then the exhale comes out, and you might feel this contraction at the abdomen to push the exhale out. And then inhale, we'll let the belly get a little softer and find space for the breath. And then exhale, push your breath out through the belly again. And then we'll add a wave-like effect to our breath. So we've just been doing this one position at the belly. The next time you inhale, fill the belly and then try to bring the breath up through the ribs and the chest. Then whenever your exhale comes, just let that exhale happen, and we'll try again the next round. Inhale from the belly. Maybe the side ribs expand, and then the upper back, and then exhale to release. And then keep working on that. Just like a wave in the ocean, can we make our breath that fluid through our abdomen? Belly, ribs, upper back as you inhale, and then your exhale releases. Working on smoothing out your wave of breathing. Okay, keep breathing in this way and keep your attention internal on your own self so that you can take good care of your own needs and you can utilize any of the mobilizing at the joints that we've been doing throughout your day to continue to increase the range of motion and mobility. Okay, enjoy your day. Bye bye.